And here we are with part 5 of the Defensor series, and this time we're going to take a look at Combiner Wars Deluxe class Rook. Brand new mold, brand new figure, and a controversial figure. Hey, Rook, what? You know, Groove was talking some big talk, saying that he was the best police bot going. Actually, he called you guys auto cops. What are auto cops? Autobots who are officers, you know, prowl, streetwise, him, and now you. Huh, huh, huh. Was that a sarcastic laugh? No, that's my sense of humor. Kind of a serious bot, aren't you? Sort of. Do you think Groove's better than you? Was that you laughing again? Groove not better than me. Okay. And I guess that says it all. He's confident, he's serious, and actually, he's pretty awesome. Let's take a look at him in the next GotBot True review. Welcome back to the channel. This is Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. I'm going to ask you to check me out on social media and check out the Everything Factor and Machinery of Man. More works on the way, still plugging away at the stop motion. You know, hopefully that turns out well, fingers crossed. And we're going to keep going with the Defensor series. This guy stirred a lot of controversy. He replaced Groove as a limb in the Combiner Wars Defensor set. Becoming, by rights, I think he's supposed to be an arm, and he works great as an arm, but I use him as a leg. I literally replaced Groove with him, and a lot of people were stirred about that and said, no, I want Groove, and when we got Unite Warriors, we got a Deluxe Groove. And I think a lot of people that have Combiner Wars have hoped that version of the character, I have him back heavy because I have this piece on him, that version of the character would come out as an exclusive, maybe just like Quickslinger did and Breakneck did. We haven't seen that, but honestly I think the situation's a little bit different. We still have a Groove in Combiner Wars, it's just now he's a chess piece and he's smaller, and I explained in that review that I think that makes sense. I like the Legends Groove. I think it's a nice new mold. I think that it's good to have him, you know, a motorcycle be smaller than the other vehicles, and I like him as a chess piece, and I like this guy as a leg. Big fan of him as a leg. Let's look at him for paint apps, for posability, playability, and for transformation, as we always do. I'll get rid of a couple of things first. This is his hand-foot gun. There you go. There's a foot. There's a gun, and you put that down, and of course there's a hand if you take out the fingers. And you can store this thing anywhere. There's a slot back here. It does make him a little back heavy, as you saw a minute ago. You can store it up on his shoulder, and a lot of people like to use, you know, two versions of this component and put it into the slots at the end of his hands and give him the huge Hulk hands look. I don't like that. I think it looks silly, so I don't do that. But hey, if you're into it, go for it. Go for it. Paint apps, I'm going to give him a 10. Largely because he doesn't have an animation model for us to compare to from original G1. I like the interplay of the black, the white, the blue. He looks authoritative. He looks strong. He looks like a, you know, the head sculpt is beautiful. It looks like a Russian football player. I mean, how burly and strong can you get to be a Russian football player? Big shoulders. This mold, with some tweaks and remolding, was used for Swindle, who we will look at when we finally get around to doing Bruticus. It was used for Hound. I think It's so good that it should have been used for Brawl. I see why they didn't, because they already reused that mold once in that series for Swindle. I think it would have served perfect for Nose Cone. I hear that the Unite Warriors version might use this mold for Nose Cone. I think it's that good. I don't mind getting reuses of this mold because it's really that good. Paint already gave it 10 to. Here's his weapon. A stun gun? I don't really know what this is. And again, because of the peg down here and the peg here, you can put it on his arm, you can put it on his back, you can put it in right here. This guy's covered with 5mm ports. Posability, playability, he makes a great arm, sturdy. He makes a great leg, sturdy. He rolls in vehicle mode really well. And in robot mode, his head turns left and right, looks up very slight and down very slight. It's kind of on that same mechanism as drag strip, where the whole piece sort of just lifts up. You can really have him look up if you want to break the sculpt, you know. Arms, they go around 360 freely, bicep swivel, little over 90 degree of an elbow bend. He does have fists. I don't know if you can see it, but he does have fists molded in, even though he has these weird hole things at the end. I'm not a huge fan of that. I wish he just had normal fists, but this guy's so awesome that doesn't hurt it. And hey, you could call him blasters, you can put into Hulk hand things. It's really up to you. He does have a waist swivel, you know, great outward movement, great backward movement, a nice 90-degree bend. If you want to detach the leg, he even has that weird, you know, he can do this. I don't know if that's any use to you, but he can do that. That's sideways knee. And he even has ankle tilts. The guy has ankle tilts. You don't often see that. I know a lot of people have had controversy with Rook, but you know what? Even if you replace him with the Deluxe groove, this guy's so good that he's just a figure worth having. Kind of like Alpha Bravo. Even if you don't want to include him as part of the official Combiner, he's just a good figure to have. He's just a good figure to have. So pin-apps are 10, posability, playability, 10. Transformation. Let's get into it. And I will apologize for my coughing there. I have a slight cold, so just bear with me a little bit, please. I'll put him in, I guess, arm mode here first, and I don't really use him as arm, so I'm probably not going to have the transformation perfect for it. You put his legs together, you know, as you always do. You put those pieces down from what I'm told. You turn him on the side. You put his head back. You flip up the combiner port. You take that back piece out of the way just so you can fold these in. You fold his shoulders in and straighten out his arms. So now his arms, just the shoulders just went folded in behind. They were out straight, and I just folded them in behind. I just circled them in behind and straightened this down here. You bring that up around. It makes a huge shoulder. Peg that together. Take his hand-foot piece and turn it like so. Put that in here, and boom, there he is as an arm. Oh, there he is as an arm. And you know, he again has that double bend if you bend it the right way. Nice deep. You know, the swivel here. He's a fantastic arm. It just, to me, that shoulder looks really bulky. If you are cool with bulky shoulders and you have someone else that you want to use as a bulky shoulder, like maybe First Aid, hey, they would probably play off each other really well. I'm not going to use them as an arm. That's why I don't really worry about this at all. Take these down and put these back, and we will split his legs, and I'll turn him around again at the waist, and we'll put down his combiner peg and this, and we will swing his arms back out, and we'll put that back piece back up. I didn't spend a lot of time on the conversion to an arm because, like I said, it's not something I'm really going to do, to be honest with you. If you want to, hey, great. So, Let's move right on to vehicle mode and leg mode. Both of which are quite easy. Turn his head. That's probably step one. And detach that back piece for now. Don't really do anything with it, but detach it. The arms, just as we had done for arm mode, you turn them, you know, so that they're like this, and you just rotate them in behind, like so, and straighten it out. You rotate this side in behind like so, and you just straighten his arm out, there. And right now this is still free flowing. The head flips up kind of in that space, just so you don't really see his head here. His feet, because this is the way he was in robot mode, come down and up and over, and I'll show you on this one, they come down and up and over like so. And you can kind of see him starting to come together a little bit. You unpeg his knee from the side, right? You just unpeg his knee from the side, and you are going to again collapse the thigh into the calf, as we've done with many of these. And you're going to bring it up, and you're going to bring it up. When you bring it up, you have this little white piece. This little white piece needs to go in behind the arm. So you might have to just finagle it a little bit. When you get it in behind the arm, you peg the legs together, and the blue on the arm should line up with the blue on the leg. It's like you have a guide for how he should go. Then we just have this back piece left. This back piece comes down over his hands and clips in everywhere there, and boom, there you go. All the blue pieces guide you, because they should all line up. You have this piece, I mean, you can put it up on the top of them up here. I guess you could put it back here if you wanted. For me, I tend to just stick it right in the front. And then you have the hand-foot piece, and again, you could put it up on one of the shoulders if you wanted. I guess if you really wanted, you could take this out and somehow stick it in here, like a grabbing, you know, if you went like this, I guess you could stick it in the front, like so, if you like that look. For me, I put that there, and I take this, and there is a hole in the bottom of this hand, and there is a peg up right here. So I personally like to just put that up on top. And look how formidable of a SWAT vehicle this is. Some people might say, I don't know if a SWAT vehicle is actually protection. It seems more like an attack vehicle. But come on! It rolls like a champ. It looks fantastic. It's a different mold. When have we ever had a SWAT vehicle? I love it. I would have liked maybe to see a bit of paint on the sides, but I don't even know if SWAT vehicles have that. So I'm not going to worry about it. Transformation, a 10. This guy's a 10 across the board. The last piece is his leg mode. You take the combiner port, and boom, you bring it up as easy as that. You take that chunk, and you bring it up. You take his feet, because you don't want him, unlike with arm mode where you just stuck it in here like this. If you do that to make him a leg, he's going to be too tall. So you need to take his feet and bring them back down around and in behind, and you will notice you have another peg or another port right here. Take the hand foot piece and put it in right there. Personally, I take this and stick it here, but again, you can do what you like with it. Now some people try and use this guy along with Groove to make a Groove looking type of knee, and yeah, sure, you can do that, why not? What basically happens is Groove's arms will go down here and Groove will hang off the front of them. I'm not going to do it in this video, but I will show it when we do the combined video, and we are moving toward that. But yeah, this guy's a 10 across the board. So far the Defensor series has been a whole bunch of wins. Groove talked a big talk like he was better than Rook. I don't think so. I think Rook is really the absolute star of this series, if there is one. It's hard to pick out a star here because Blade's really good. First Aid, he's good. He has a couple of tolerance issues. Streetwise, really good. Groove, really good. This guy, absolutely fantastic. If you don't have him, or if you just hate him because he's not perfect G1, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. He is a wonderful figure. He's definitely worth having. Here is his Combiner card, since I have it here. The art looks great. Again, he looks formidable there. He looks like a strong bruiser. He is definitely one of the most posable in the Combiner Wars line. You know, Alpha Bravo got a raw deal. Rook got a little bit of a raw deal, but he is well worth picking up. If you don't have him, you really should. Anyway, we will move on to the core of Defensor next as we inch closer to the combined video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for part 6. I will see you inside the videos.